Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning with me, Brigand Hall. So I was right about Agarth being the trigger for the quest, or to unlock the door. They all started running inside as soon as he got close enough, so I started it the pause menu.
We're nearly there.
Alright, you guys go on without me, I'll catch up. So I wonder, there was an option to wait for Aelin's Shear earlier when I was speaking to Agarth when we first got to Amara. And I'm wondering if we would have done that if Ventrinio and Aelin's Shear would be the ones helping us here instead of those two generic NPCs. I wonder if that's one of the few decisions in the game that actually influence anything. I have a few wings to explore. So I may explore these side passages first. I know it kills some of the momentum of the quest, but there's loot to be found, and Tuatha to be taken out. I wonder if we have to go down these halls for the quest later on, or if this is just like a last-ditch effort for the game to give you like set pieces before you finish the game. I feel like it's not the latter because we still have Bhaile to go in. So this isn't the final stretch of the game yet. Also, that one sword that I got from Ken Rolston last episode would be very good through here, since we're fighting a bunch of Tuatha. Well, I guess the sword itself isn't that great. It's the gem we got from the quest. Gives you what, plus 15% damage versus Tuatha? But most unique weapons can't be socketed, so which I'm sure that's why that one While the sword we got from that quest line was green so that we could put a socket in it. Wonder... Just... No, this is... Okay.
Your life is mine! Feed the mountain god!
There we go. I was hoping for a little bit more combat in the House of Vengeance, but I'm always hoping for a little more combat than what the game provides. Here we go. Ask and you shall receive.
Kneel before Tiernock.
I feel like maybe just I don't know what I'm trying to say. I feel like having us fight like the entire House of Vengeance in one go would be a good way to wrap up the end of the game. Or like a good final stretch of the game where we're just, cutting our way through hordes and hordes of Tuatha. So at this point, I think you can handle it. I mean, you saw them hit me a couple of times, and I didn't take, I think, a single point of damage. So I know the sorcery skill line, you get some like really powerful AoE spells.
Looks like this is it.
You don't really get a lot of opportunity to use them because, again, you're fighting groups of like, what, five enemies at a time. This one is a little larger, but we have, what, 4 or 5 NPCs with us, so it's...
Looks like this is it.
And I talk about it all the time, I think, letting the player just feel powerful.
Another mortal to the fire.
Especially in a game where you really are powerful. Like, these guys have no chance of beating me. Now, I am only playing on hard, not very hard, but this is the default difficulty before Re-Reckoning, when the remaster was released. This was as hard as the game got.
Hi.
Hey, not trying to talk to you. Aelin Shear.
That damned backstabber never showed up to help us. I knew she was trouble. She was probably a plant from Gadflow all along. You find Gadflow, and you'll find her at his side. Mark my words.
Where's the cur?
He'll be guarding the heart of the House of Vengeance. Lead the way, and we'll find him. Mark my words. Stay on guard.
Now, again, it could be like an engine limitation, or they don't want to risk performance issues by having 2 enemies at one time, and I get that. I feel like enough games just they don't go all out enough. It's that they don't want to risk the player having too hard of a time. But I want the game to throw everything it has at me at one time, so I can test my character. Especially in an RPG where you're constantly getting more and more powerful. My NPC buddies are doing too hot back here. I think we lost all of our... Yep, we lost our generic NPCs.
Going to
Also, I do find it a little odd. So, like, the House of Vengeance being Winter Fae, who is supposed to represent decay and all that, like, they build these castles. I think all the Winter Fae are located in castles, where the Summer Fae are in these, you know, more foresty, more magical looking. Like, Issa's all, I guess, wildlife? I don't know how you describe it. It's like one with nature. Oh, okay, here's the cur. Sorry, I didn't know they were fighting when I was trying to talk. Oh, hello. And it's better than my current set. I will check this out. Death's Touch. Magical set of gloves employed by Gorwed the Assassin, invested with protective and poison enchantments.
That was amazing. You're twice the hero I ever was, or could have been. Our forces can't keep going from here. We're stretched too thin, and we've lost too much. Sidon and I will hold the gate for you as long as we can. But Bhaile is nearly deserted. Head in, face Gadflow, end this.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Good plan. I promise not to die if you don't. Just make sure you put a stop to Gadflow. Do that, and I predict our future involves sharing drinks and war stories around a cozy fire. Trust me, I'm a Fate Weaver.
Anyway, what I was trying to say was, it's weird they're building these large castles and structures like they're trying to deny decay by building these structures. Intended, I assume, to last forever, but... I'm probably just reading too much into it. Dirtsinger gloves. A Dirtsinger is the fabled assassin who betrayed and murdered dozens of his brethren before disappearing into thin air. I think that's the whole Ascendant set as well, but I can't equip that. So we can equip... Wrong one. Alright, so what's the description? First claimed by the Hogan, the Hungry, from the corpse of an unnamed foe, The stone and steel plates of this armor were painted with blood every night for 6 months. The phase spirals have since worn away, but now it greedily drinks any blood spilled by its master or their victims. So plus 15% physical damage, plus 15% elemental resist, and 25 ice damage. I don't really use ice. I like the armor itself. The helmet I'm not a huge fan of. The armor does look cool though. Plus 20% armor from the helmet alone, that's pretty good. A bunch of block efficacy. We got 10% mana. 15% health, that's also pretty good. And ice resist. They're really worried about ice going forward, aren't they? I'm gonna stick with Aegon set. Lose 300 armor, but I think it looks a little cooler than the Vengeance set. And plus, it's a mortal made set of armor, where I think the other one is made by a Fae. So I think it's a little more symbolic to wear this armor as well. Alright, into Bhaile. This is the last stretch of the game. I'm gonna guess Aelin Shear's up ahead. It's a bunch of dead Tuatha.
My deepest apologies for not being able to join the battle. Ventrinia was something of a hassle.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Waiting for you, of course. And cleaning up. Ventrinio attacked me. If it's any comfort, he didn't suffer. The closer we got to Bhaile, the more obsessed he became with Tiernock. And with harnessing Tiernock's power. Just like Gadflow did. That's why he had to be stopped. And why we need to talk about our mission.
About time you told me.
I wasn't sure I could trust you. You're not the same person you used to be. We're running out of time. I'll explain as we go. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
The winter court was still as fallen snow as the jester danced and capered. Juggling knives and torches, he sang to his lords and ladies, but none smiled. Not an eyebrow raised as the sniveling jester
Fighting at
imitated
your
the
side,
king.
just like
Not
the old
even when he
days
took the
before you
crown from
died.
his head. Because this was the day that Gadflow murdered the winter court. This was the day the Tuatha were born, and our people became a sacrifice for Tiernock.
You and I carry on a duty that has been fulfilled for centuries. We keep the world from being consumed by greed, by war, and by Tiernock. The ancient beast must stay sealed away at any cost. The world must never realize the terrible power Tiernock offers.
Since the Alabastra Wall was young, the beautiful bone-white forest was a place of peace and meditation. No piercing birdsong nor heated word could find its way between the branches. Quiet thought prevailed until Gadflow shattered our land. The Tuatha's crimson axes chopped the forest for arrow shafts, and Tiernock's Prismere spires rose up to consume what remained. Now our forest is shattered, and screams of warfare fill its boughs.
So I'm getting a little nervous I may have missed a lore stone. Because I'm finding a bunch of Bhaile lore stones here, right? I'm missing... A winter lorestone. I'm assuming I'm going to find it here in
Gadflow's
Bale.
army arose. We recognized Tiernock's tainted influence. Only a force like her could warp eternal creatures like the Fae. So you came to infiltrate Alabastra, find Tiernock, and seal her away forever. And you used Ventrinio to get in, under the guise of being his assistant. This is your
So I was a good guy all along.
If you couldn't stop Tiernock, she would use her pawns to fully escape her prison, and the world would be her new plaything. You had to try, even though the Fate Weavers said you were doomed. As always, the Fate Weavers were right.
So I'm gonna listen to this. I fought these guys, that's fine. Here we go. This is turned into more of a proper fight. I mean, they're all weakened. They're not super tough, but hey, I'll take it.
When I found you in Dalentarth, when I saw you had come back to life, I wasn't sure how much you remembered. I couldn't be certain you would keep our secrets. I considered killing you then and there. Nothing personal. You would have done the same to me. But then I saw what you had become. I saw the new powers you wielded, and I saw how useful you could be.
The greatest heroes of winter have always fallen from the Bale's pale bows, from Pietra the Keen to Hulgan the Hungry. When the Tuatha claimed dominance over us, heroes arose to defend winter. Gadflow laughed at their challenge and called up Tiernock's wrath. In a second, our most loyal heroes were impaled by Prismere spires. Our heroes were gone, never to be reborn, and our people succumbed to Gadflow's madness.
When I saw you could change fate, I knew you were our only choice. So I helped you continue your mission to stop Tiernock, even if you had forgotten it. But over time, I realized you weren't the same man you were when you died. You were more. You were better than the heartless commander I had known.
And so, instead of an arcane age, Gadflow would have an endless winter. Not the winter of the Fae, but of Tiernock's making. Gadflow has seen the visions of annihilation, of a blissful void across the world. It is not the will of Own, but against nature. The ageless decay of our people has become a weapon against yours. You, the Deathbringer and Siegebreaker, the usurper of fate and twice born, must become the Godslayer.
In happier times, the Winter Court would come here to bathe in the colors of the midnight gardens. Night violets and pale moonflowers blossomed on a field of bluest grass studded with frost. When stars aligned, the Aurora Borealis danced for the Queen herself. But now the Tuatha have crushed the gardens and planted only
Last time you
corpses.
came here,
The
you were
fruit of
destined
their
to die.
tortured garden is
This
only
time,
blood
Your
red.
destiny is up to you.
Alright, so I'm not going to move forward when I'm listening to the lore stones, because I do want to listen to those without Aelin Shear interrupting me.
At long last, Gadflow has crushed the Winter Fae, and his Tuatha rules us utterly. No longer are we reborn into this world, unless his god Tiernock wills it so. This monster has crushed us, and our kind shall pass from this world. But our memories might yet last. When Gadflow is gone, and his god is left for another people to ravage, I may be freed from my tomb, and then I may share what dreams we made. It is the only immortality any of us may hope for now.
Sweet, I found every lore stone in the game. Alright, I need to focus on the fight. Fight at hand. Alright, so this is the final stretch. I'll take both of those.
Now we have a chance to finally complete our mission. Let's put an end to Gadflow before his bargain frees Tiernock on the world.
Alright, the Court of Winter.
This must have been a lot for you to take in
Sorry,
at once.
hit my desk.
But I need you to be clear on who you are and what you need to do. A lot has changed since you were here last. It isn't going to be as easy this time. And last time it killed you.
What is Tiernock?
She's a creature with incredible power. A dragon. But she is no simple lizard in some child's tale. She has a power rivaled only by the gods. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Alpha sealed her in the Amethyst between this world and the world of magic. And there she went mad. As her prison weakened over time, she was able to tempt Gadflow into helping her gain enough power to break free. And if she escapes fully, it will mean the end of all mortal life. Tiernock's revenge for tens of thousands of years of imprisonment. That's why people like you and I have dedicated our lives to keeping Tiernock's secret from the world.
A dragon. I don't think we've heard tell of a dragon in the entire game. Though I'm wondering if those giant bird skeletons that I've seen... Well, one of them was confirmed to be a bird. The one in its tier. Because it was like the god of the region. But I'm curious if maybe some of those were supposed to be dragons? Or maybe they were birds mistaken as dragons or vice versa? Or if Tiernock is the only dragon in the game. So I don't remember there, even in any of the books or lore that we read, there was no mention of dragons, I don't think. Who was I?
We were supposed to keep Tiernock hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and seal Tiernock away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised.
What happens after Gadflow dies?
Everyone who knows the truth of Tiernock will be dead, and Tiernock will be sealed away once again. We can return to our duty of keeping the knowledge secret, assuming that's the life you want to return to. But if you refuse, then I'd have to make sure you never tell the truth about Tiernock. Of course, I'd rather it didn't come to that. But you would have done the same.
You seem to like me.
What are you? A moonstruck whelp?
Okay.
If you're going to waste time staring longingly at me, I'll gladly save us both the trouble and pry your eyes out now. To save our world, Gadflow has to die and Tiernock has to be sealed away. You're the only one who can do it, and you'll probably need to be able to see. Now get in there, and try not to get yourself killed again. Lead on.
So was
I'm
that
right behind you.
Was that a romance option that was hid behind a 66% persuasion check that I just failed? Get rejected right before the final boss fight. Alright, actually, you know what? I don't know how long the episode's been. I'm going to call it here, though. And the next one we'll make for the final push and wrap up the game, I guess. I was expecting to be able to take a little longer, but it was pretty straightforward. So yeah, next time we'll beat the game. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.